The CEO of YouTube recently announced what's next for the platform, and I thought to myself, do you know who needs to hear this? You guys. So in today's video, I'm going to be breaking down the future of YouTube according to YouTube. By the way, this video is sponsored by Storyblocks, more on them later. Okay, the first point that Neal Mohan, who is the CEO of YouTube, broke down in a recent interview, which I will link below, is all about creators being the new startups. Now, let me break the fourth wall. This isn't actually the first thing that he mentioned. It's just, in my opinion, one of the most interesting points that he made. This point is all about the fact that creators are becoming the new entrepreneurs. They're becoming the new startups, and they're doing this by diversifying their income and creating these huge companies and production studios. Some of these production studios are scaling up to rival that of like Hollywood production studios. Neal actually provided a few examples of creators who are doing this. I'm just smiling to myself because I love how I just called him Neal, like we're on first name basis. I have actually met him before. Here's a photo. So maybe I can call him Neal. Neal, let me know if this is okay. So Neal provided some examples of creators who are really at the forefront of this trend. One is called Alan Chicken Chow. I've also met him. Am I just name dropping? Do I know people in the industry now? When did that happen? Anyway. Alan is a content creator and an actor who has over 80 million subscribers, mind blown, and also creates content that genuinely rivals that of a Netflix production, not just in terms of the quality of the content, but also in terms of the views. For example, at the time of me recording this, his most recent video that was shared just 12 days ago has 19 million views. Alan, along with other creators like Mia Plays, has gone ahead and created their own production teams and even rented out huge production studios to continue to create the content that they produce. The scale of what they're doing genuinely matches that of like a startup in San Francisco. In addition to these giant creators who are doing these incredible things, other creators are also diversifying the way that they're monetizing, which is allowing them to earn more money. YouTube reported that over 50% of 5-figure earning channels are making money in ways beyond the ads that appear around their content. So they're diversifying. For example, there's been a 40% increase in channel memberships over the last year. Channel memberships are basically when you can create private communities on YouTube and share private exclusive content that people pay in order to get access to. I actually have one. It's where I share my behind the scenes content. You can check it out by clicking on the join link below. They also reported that shopping recommendations are also becoming a huge recommendation stream as well. Now, I foresee this being a huge focus area for YouTube because TikTok Shop is like dominating the space, and no other social media platforms have really been able to nail their shopping offering the way that TikTok have. So I can foresee YouTube and other platforms really trying to focus on this in the coming years. So let's talk about what this trend means for you and I as YouTube creators. The first thing it means is that diversifying your income is key. I mean, preach. I've been saying this for a really long time. Some of the most successful creators in the world have multiple revenue streams. Whether it's YouTube membership, brand deals, digital products, it's important to explore the different income streams that you can create in addition to just being able to place ads around your videos. As incredible as it is that we can earn money through these ads, we do want to make sure we have other income streams as well, just to ensure that we're as financially stable as we can be. The other learning for creators is that high production can actually lead to more opportunities. This is just a huge trend that I'm seeing on the platform in general, is that there's been a huge rise in high production, high quality content. And you can really see that in some of the content from the creators who I mentioned, Alan Chicken Chow and Mia Plays. Okay, before we move on to the next trend that's coming to YouTube as a platform, I do want to take a quick minute to talk about a really easy way for you to improve the quality and the production value of your content. I did just mention how important the production value of your content is when it comes to the future of YouTube. So I feel like now's the right time to give you a tool that's actually going to allow you to do this, right? This tool is Storyblocks. Now, if you're not familiar with Storyblocks already, it's a stock media subscription service which gives you access to a huge library of stock videos, images, audio, special effects, sound effects, etc. Honestly, the library is huge and includes everything that you could possibly need to really take your content to the next level. Now, something that a lot of creators don't realize is that some of your favorite YouTube videos that you've ever watched include stock footage. If you ever wondered how some of your favorite creators get these beautiful aerial shots or these beautiful road shots and you're thinking, what equipment are you using to be able to capture content like that? Spoiler alert, they're not capturing it themselves at all. They're using a stock media subscription service like Storyblocks. Now, there are so many reasons why I highly recommend Storyblocks as your tool for getting access to images, audio, sound effects, special effects, templates, etc. But here are some of the key ones that I want to talk to you about today. The first is that Storyblocks actually has an Adobe Creative Cloud plugin that I don't think a lot of people are aware of. This basically means that you can access the entire Storyblocks library directly from Premiere Pro or After Effects, which saves you so much time when it comes to editing. Speaking of saving time, you also get access to pre-made templates inside Storyblocks. You can use these templates to bring your content to life and to create a really professional feel for your content and to generally just enhance the production value. Now, important thing to note when it comes to Storyblocks is that you pay one monthly subscription cost, and that gives you unlimited access to the entire library. So you don't have to worry about paying every single time you want to use an image, a video, a sound effect. You get unlimited access to all of them when you join Storyblocks. So if you want to check out Storyblocks, head to storyblocks.com/Jade Beeson. I've also got the link in the description below. Okay, let's go back to talking about the future of YouTube. Let's talk about the next trend that the CEO of YouTube mentioned. This one is called YouTube is the new TV. I love this one. TV is now the #1 device for YouTube viewers. Does that not blow your mind? That basically means that out of every device that your audience can use to watch your content, whether it's your laptop, your phone, your tablet, people are choosing to watch YouTube on their TV more than any of those other devices. In fact, YouTube actually overtook Netflix last year when it came to the amount of content being consumed on TV. This is huge. Like, this is such a huge thing for social media as a whole. Like, it really signals a significant change for social media. This basically positions YouTube as like an on-demand streaming service. It puts YouTube alongside Netflix, Amazon Prime, Disney Plus. It puts it in a whole nother category. In addition to this, to meet this new demand of people watching YouTube on TV, YouTube have made significant updates to the TV viewing app. I actually uploaded a video where I talk about YouTube updates. I'll link to it here because I think you'd find it really, really interesting. But this is one of the things that I spoke about. So what does this mean for you and I? It means that we should all be trying to optimize our content for TV viewing. This means ensuring that the content you're producing is super high resolution and also has really clear audio. This trend also signals that there might be more advertising opportunities coming to us as content creators, because we all know how valuable TV advertising is. And if YouTube is going to be consumed primarily on TV, we can only hope that that means that our advertising revenue should increase. Neal didn't actually say that, by the way. That's a me thing that I'm saying. So fingers crossed. The next trend coming to YouTube is all about AI. Shocking, I know. This one is titled AI is revolutionising content creation. Now, when it comes to this trend, Neal spoke a lot about the fact that AI is being used more and more in the process of content creation, which is making it easier for people to produce higher quality content more efficiently. For example, there's been a rise of AI-driven tools on YouTube, such as Dream Screen and Dream Track. These are both tools that you can use to generate your own backgrounds and also generate your own music using AI. In addition to this, YouTube are rolling out auto dubbing features, which would allow you to add dubbing to your content to allow people from different countries who speak different languages to consume your content in their own language. That's a really, really big one, especially for creators who do want to have a global presence. That feature is going to be huge for you. There are also new AI tools which are designed to help people discover our content, but also protect our content. And I feel like these AI tools aren't spoken about enough. For example, YouTube have an AI-driven age detector tool, which should ensure that age-appropriate content is being shared to the right audiences. There are also some new AI tools which protect deepfakes and should also therefore protect creators' identities. It's so funny to think that we have to utilize AI to protect us from another form of AI. What is the world we're living in? So what does this trend mean for you and I? Well, it means that if we utilize AI tools correctly, it can actually speed up the content creation process for us and also allow us to create better quality content. It also means that we should hopefully be better protected when it comes to people's ability to use AI to basically take our likeness. So people's ability to create things like deepfakes and use AI to actually take our identities. Hopefully these new tools will make it significantly harder for people to do that. The last thing this means for us is that it's going to be easier for us to reach a global audience, especially if we utilize the auto dubbing tools. By the way, if you want a full breakdown or tutorial on any of the tools that I'm mentioning, please let me know in the comments and I'll do my best to add it to my content plan. The final trend that Neal spoke about is YouTube becoming the epicenter of culture. Now, this trend is kind of all encompassing, and I do think it's a bit of a PR trend for YouTube. Like, obviously, as a social media platform, you would want to position yourself as the epicenter of culture. But there were some very interesting things mentioned under this section that I do think are worth flagging. The first is that YouTube are breaking down language and cultural barriers. This is reflected in the last point that I made, all about auto dubbing. YouTube really are at the forefront when it comes to equipping creators with the tools they need to create content that's going to appeal to a broader audience, not just the audience who speak that creator's language. They also mentioned that YouTube is now the #1 podcast platform platform in the US, which genuinely blew my mind. I don't know, I feel like I blinked and YouTube podcasts became this huge thing, because I remember them being introduced. I had no idea that they had caught on to this extent. The #1 podcast platform in the US. Wild. The third is that there are new tools coming to podcasters, which will make it easier for them to monetize. That's a very interesting piece of information, because podcasts are traditionally more challenging to monetize than some of your other content that you create. So if you're a podcaster and you're not already distributing your podcast on YouTube, I think this is your sign to start to look into this, because this could be your ticket to podcast monetization. There were some other points mentioned under that, but I've just taken the liberty of picking the ones that are most relevant to you and I. Okay guys, I hope you found that useful. Don't forget to check out Storyblocks by heading to storyblocks.com/Jade Beeson, or heading to the link in my description. If you feel like hanging around, which I feel like you probably do, I recommend watching this video. It's all about the 5 lessons that I've learned from some of the biggest content creators in the world. Thank you so much for watching. As always, I cannot wait to see you in my next video.